Before we get started, make sure you hit that subscribe button, then turn that notification button on right now.
Every superstar seems to dream about working for the WWE, and when those dreams are realized, there is an overwhelming sense of accomplishment, and at the same time, it results in the wrestlers dreaming of bigger dreams. And it's not wrong to say that every wrestler in the WWE locker room yearns to win championship gold. From the US title to the coveted WWE title, every title in the company has a rich history and lineage. Winning a world championship not only seems to validate a superstar's career, but also puts them alongside some of the greatest professional wrestlers to ever step foot in a wrestling ring. In this video, we will take a look at 10 superstars who could potentially become world champion for the first time in 2018. The Lone Wolf showed a lot of promise when he was first drafted to the main roster. On NXT, Corbin proved that he can play the role of a devious, cunning villain very well. However, he soon got lost in the shuffle on SmackDown Live, like many stars before him. However, for a brief period, it looked as if WWE writers had given up on the superstar, but in 2017, Corbin scratched and clawed his way back into the fold. Baron is set to compete at the WWE Fastlane for the WWE Championship, and while the odds of Corbin walking out of the pay-per-view as the new champ are slim to none, it shows that the superstar has been doing the right things to show his commitment to the WWE management. The Lone Wolf has the looks and character WWE can get behind. Also, let us not forget that we did have Jack Swagger as a champion not too long ago. Lately, a lot of people seem to be willing to walk with Elias. The Drifter has certainly improved since he made his main roster debut, and his character has gone over well with the WWE fans. Believe it or not, it wasn't too long ago that fans were bewildered as to why this guy named Elias Sampson was brought to the main roster from NXT. Admittedly, Elias did not have the best of runs in NXT and wasn't a big name on the brand to have deserved the call-up, it seemed. However, WWE persisted with him and his gimmick, and he proved the WWE officials correct. Right now, Elias is one of the most entertaining superstars on the roster, and his gimmick has also been a hit with the audience. Taking those factors into account, it shouldn't surprise anyone if WWE decides to give Elias a post-WrestleMania push for the Universal title. He has already proven that he can hang with the best in the ring, and a championship run would bring the best out of the superstar. The current US champ is destined for a glorious career in the WWE, as Bobby Roode was handpicked by Triple H to be the face of NXT during his time on the developmental brand, and Roode is quite used to being the face of a promotion. From his entrance to his attire and his attitude as a superstar, Bobby Roode was tailor-made to be a world champion. In a short span of time, Roode has quickly ascended to become one of the top faces on SmackDown and has taken on all comers so far. Roode's work as a heel has been exceptional in the past, and the superstar could really thrive working with the likes of AJ Styles. And considering WWE seems to be running out of opponents for AJ, we may very well see both of these stars face each other for the WWE title in the near future. Rusev Day isn't currently a national holiday, but if it was, no one would work ever again, because every day is Rusev Day. After years of swimming through the mediocre messes that WWE forced on the Bulgarian Brute, Rusev has finally found the gimmick that works for him. When Rusev was running through opponents during his undefeated run, many believed that he could be the next big foreign villain that WWE was lacking, since the character execution of Muhammad Hassan per se. Right now, the fans can be heard chanting Rusev Day every week on SmackDown Live, and it isn't an exaggeration to say Rusev is one of the top 5 fan favorites on the brand. His shirt is still one of the best selling merchandise items on WWE Shop, highlighting his rising stock in the company. And while the entire idea of Rusev Day and pairing him with Aiden English came to seem like a joke really, Rusev has truly made it into a phenomenon, and WWE would be wise to take advantage of this popularity. Now all they have to do is strike the iron while it's hot and put the WWE title on him. The Japanese sensation will be featured in a marquee bout at WrestleMania 34. With him winning the Men's Royal Rumble match back in January, Nakamura will challenge for the WWE title, and while Shinsuke hasn't really clicked with the WWE audience yet, he is still one of the biggest stars in the company at the moment. Nakamura came to WWE with a lot of hype surrounding him, but the way in which he has been signed and booked on SmackDown Live hasn't done the superstar many favors. He has successfully challenged Jinder Mahal for the WWE Championship, and after a lackluster feud, was booked to win the Royal Rumble. It seems like it would be tough to drop the ball with someone like Nakamura, who brought the legion of fans to the WWE. While it may seem like losing to Jinder could have taken the wind out of Nakamura's sails, it wouldn't surprise me or really anyone if Nakamura won the WWE title this year. If we're going to have a discussion about the most dominant superstar in WWE today, we've got to be talking about Nia Jax. Since making her main roster debut, Nia has dismantled her opponents, and while she is a role model outside the ring, she's one of the most destructive forces inside the squared circle, and it may be a mystery as to why Nia hasn't won the Women's Championship until now. Jax is a monster heel, and has the looks and the skills to hold on to the title. While WWE has been slowly building the feud between Jax and Bliss, they still haven't pulled the trigger with her. However, it would be a relatively safe bet to assume that 2018 will be the year when Nia Jax finally wins the women's title in the company. Ronda has already been a world champion, but it was in the world of MMA, arguably the biggest women's combat sports athlete in the world. While Ronda could potentially receive the same treatment as those like Brock Lesnar and Goldberg, she can help the women's division in the company and push the women's revolution a step further. Now that Ronda has signed a full-time deal with the company, they now reportedly have big plans for her, including her ending Asuka's undefeated streak. Considering Ronda beats Asuka, we can expect to see Ronda becoming the Raw Women's Champion by the end of the year. And given her accolades in MMA, it's only a matter of time before WWE puts the title on her. While the name Great Balls of Fire drew a lot of jokes from the internet wrestling community, the fans expected to see Samoa Joe take the fight to Brock Lesnar when they faced off for the Universal title. Instead, Lesnar seemed to have defeated Joe with ease, rendering all those weeks where Joe attacked Brock, as Woken Matt Hardy would say, obsolete. Joe is currently sidelined with an injury and is expected to return to action before Mania 34. Samoa Joe, when booked correctly, can really be like a natural disaster, as we've seen during his time in NXT and even his early days on the main roster. Joe is one of the best in-ring workers currently in the company, and has the intensity and mic skills that would make him one of the most well-rounded performers in the business. It's only a matter of time before Joe gets his hands on a world title, and that could very well happen this year. Goldberg's undefeated streak saw him become one of the most popular wrestlers of the 90s, and many people thought no other superstar could go for a couple of years without being pinned or submitted in the WWE. And that all changed when Asuka came along and started smashing her opponents. On NXT, there was no one that could stand up to the Japanese sensation. Asuka never lost the NXT Women's title either. Instead, her injury forced her to relinquish the title, and the Empress of Tomorrow has since dominated the superstars of Raw. Asuka has also won the Royal Rumble match and earned a shot at the Raw Women's Championship at WrestleMania 34. Out of all the performers on this list, Asuka would be the safest bet to win the title this year. Taking a streak into consideration, WWE is going to want to build Asuka as a dominant figure until Ronda challenges her. We can expect to see Asuka winning the title at the grandest stage. And before we get to number 1, we have to mention Finn Balor in this list. Yes, Balor was the inaugural Universal Champion, but the superstar had to relinquish the title merely 24 hours later, and his championship reign cannot be taken that seriously. Balor deserves to become a world champion. He seems to have been going the extra mile with social media, and Finn has all the tools required to be champion and can get his hands on the title later this year. There is arguably no other superstar on the WWE roster that is more dominant, more intense, and more frightening than Braun Strowman. The way WWE has booked Strowman so far is commendable, except for his loss against Lesnar. Strowman has been able to look like $1,000,000. While it's still not clear what Strowman's role would be at WrestleMania, there is very little doubt that he will have a major role on the card. His bouts with Reigns and Lesnar provided many memorable moments, and Strowman has made a habit of doing things that make the fans watch in awe. Whether he is tipping an ambulance over or throwing a superstar strapped to a gunnery off a ledge, Braun has been impressive to say the least. It isn't a matter of, but a matter of when the WWE decides to put the Universal title on him, and we can see that happening this year. With Reigns being expected to win the Universal title at Mania, revisiting the rivalry would undoubtedly pique the interest of the wrestling fans. And these were 10 wrestlers who could become world champion for the first time in WWE. I hope you're all having an amazing day. Thank you so much for watching Wrestling Hub, and I'll see you later with more wrestling videos.